here I'm with the lovely Aaliyah. What's going on, Aaliyah?
What's up? How you doing? I'm good. It's been a while, sure has.
And he was working with R. Kelly, and they were making so many records together. You know, they made all those records together. They both fucked Aaliyah. They shared so much in common.
What if one of the most tragic events in music history wasn't an accident at all? What if the untimely passing of Aaliyah, the princess of R&B, was part of something far more sinister? For over 2 decades, fans have mourned the loss of an artist whose career promised to redefine the music industry. But as the years go by, whispers of conspiracy continue to grow louder. Was her departure from this world truly the result of an unfortunate chain of events? Or could it have been orchestrated by some of the most powerful figures in the entertainment industry? Some believe the truth lies buried beneath layers of deception, and the recent revelations about her final hours only deepen the mystery.
The both worlds. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about this shit.
Nobody talks about that project.
That's smooth under the rug.
Why?
Aaliyah was adored by millions, a trailblazer who blended talent with an effortless sense of style. By the time she was 22, she had already achieved what most could only dream of. 3 hit albums, starring roles in Hollywood films, and a future so bright it seemed unstoppable. But on that fateful day in August 2001, during what should have been a routine flight from the Bahamas back to Miami, the world lost her forever. Yet new information suggests that the story we've been told might not be the full picture. According to an explosive revelation in Kathy Iandoli's book, Baby Girl, better known as Aaliyah, the singer didn't even want to board the ill-fated plane. This alone challenges the long-held belief that Aaliyah was in a rush to get back to the US and insisted on taking the overloaded aircraft. For decades, this narrative painted her as a rising star so eager to return home that she overlooked the risks. But now, thanks to an eyewitness account from a then-teenage local named Kingsley Russell, a completely different version of events has emerged, illustrating the power of art to connect people and events.
It's malicious. But maybe that was because he was a girl that didn't want you.
Oh.
Russell, who was a minor at the time, claims he was present during Aaliyah's final moments before takeoff. His family worked closely with her team while she was in the Bahamas filming the now iconic music video for Rock the Boat. Russell recounts that Aaliyah had serious reservations about boarding the small twin-engine plane, which was clearly overloaded with luggage and equipment. She complained of a headache, refusing to get out of the vehicle that had brought her to the airport. She even went so far as to insist that she wouldn't fly under such conditions, preferring instead to wait for an alternative arrangement. This conflicts entirely with the narrative that Aaliyah was the one pushing for a speedy departure. But here's where things take a darker turn. Russell claims that after voicing her concerns, Aaliyah was handed a small pill by a member of her entourage. Moments later, she was asleep. Russell alleges that she was carried onto the plane without her knowledge or consent. This shocking detail changes everything. If Aaliyah was unconscious when she was placed on the aircraft, it raises troubling questions about the decisions made by those around her. Why would her team be so insistent on taking off despite the clear dangers? And who ultimately made the call to prioritize the overloaded equipment over Aaliyah's safety?
By the way, wasn't this all around the time when Aaliyah
Yeah.
and Beyonce's solo career was struggling?
Adding to the intrigue is the chaotic state of the flight itself. The plane, a Cessna 402B, was reportedly overloaded by several hundred pounds. According to reports, the weight was also unevenly distributed, making the aircraft unstable. The pilot, Luis Morales III, had only recently been hired by the charter company and lacked proper certification for the flight. Investigators later discovered that he had a troubling history of rule violations and had falsified his credentials. Even more damning, the plane had been cited for 4 separate safety violations in the years leading up to the crash. All of these factors combined make it clear that this was not a routine flight, but a disaster waiting to happen. Still, the most disturbing element of this story isn't the technical failures or the pilot's inexperience. It's the alleged manipulation leading up to the takeoff. If Russell's account is accurate, Aaliyah's hesitations were ignored, and she was incapacitated to ensure the flight proceeded as planned. This raises the question, who stood to benefit from Aaliyah's compliance? And more importantly, why was there such urgency to leave when another safer option could have been arranged?
They were having a hard time taking her solo. And then Aaliyah.
This brings us to the broader conspiracy theories surrounding Aaliyah's passing. Many believe her demise was no tragic accident, but rather the result of calculated actions by powerful figures in the music industry. Among the most controversial claims is the idea that Aaliyah's meteoric rise posed a threat to other major artists, particularly Beyonce. At the time of Aaliyah's passing, Beyonce was beginning her transition from Destiny's Child frontwoman to solo superstar. Some theorists suggest that Aaliyah's continued dominance in both music and film could have overshadowed Beyonce's ascent, prompting influential individuals to remove her from the picture entirely.
What's up, what's up? This is Beyonce on the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here, Miss Aaliyah. How you doing, girl?
It's so good to see you again.
You too.
These theories often point to Jay-Z, who was rumored to have had a romantic interest in Aaliyah before she began dating his business partner, Damon Dash. According to Dash, Jay-Z had been going hard to win Aaliyah's affection, but she ultimately chose Dash instead. This alleged rivalry has led some to speculate that unresolved tensions may have played a role in the events leading up to her demise. While there is no concrete evidence to support these claims, the timing of Aaliyah's passing and Beyond's subsequent rise to fame continue to fuel speculation.
Rich Harrison in, and you know, kind of think it's crazy right now. She liked posing with him in pictures for Page Six. Aaliyah didn't.
Another name frequently mentioned in these theories is Sean Diddy Combs, a music mogul whose connections to the industry's most powerful players make him a central figure in many conspiracies. Some allege that Diddy, Jay-Z, and other high-ranking individuals within the industry were part of a secretive network that orchestrated Aaliyah's demise. The motive? To consolidate their influence and ensure the success of their chosen protégés. While these claims remain unsubstantiated, the idea of an industry-wide cover-up is not without precedent. The music business has long been plagued by whispers of corruption, exploitation, and backroom deals.
If you're a halfway intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some keep getting?
Right.
Even more chilling are the claims that Aaliyah's demise may have been part of a larger pattern of suspicious incidents involving high-profile artists. Conspiracy theorists often draw parallels between Aaliyah's passing and the demises of other music legends, such as Left Eye of TLC and even Michael Jackson. In each case, the narrative of an accidental or natural passing is questioned, with some suggesting that these figures were targeted because they threatened the status quo within the industry. Whether through their talent, influence, or willingness to speak out, these artists represented a shift in power that certain individuals may have found threatening. Of course, it's important to approach these theories with a critical eye. Many of the claims lack solid evidence and rely heavily on speculation. However, the unanswered questions surrounding Aaliyah's passing continue to invite scrutiny. Why was an inexperienced pilot allowed to operate an overloaded plane? Why was there such urgency to depart that day? And perhaps most disturbingly, why was Aaliyah allegedly incapacitated against her will? Until these questions are answered, the mystery of her passing will remain a source of fascination and heartbreak for fans around the world.
Really a conspiracy if the same person keeps benefiting off the same kind of tragedy over and over?
One thing is certain, Aaliyah's legacy endures. Her music, style, and influence continue to inspire new generations of artists and fans. Yet, as her contributions to the industry are celebrated, the circumstances of her passing cast a shadow that cannot be ignored. Whether her demise was a tragic accident or something more sinister, the impact of her loss is immeasurable. And with each new revelation, the call for justice grows louder. Could the truth about what really happened to Aaliyah finally be within reach? Or will the secrets surrounding her final moments remain buried forever?
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
The complexities of Aaliyah's story don't end with the tragic events of her final flight. If anything, the aftermath has only deepened the intrigue, drawing in some of the most powerful names in the entertainment world. Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy have all found themselves entangled in rumors that suggest their influence reaches far beyond music and business. But could it be possible that these titans of the industry played a part in shaping the narrative or even the circumstances of Aaliyah's demise? And as cracks begin to form in their public personas, could their own legacies be at risk of collapse? Let's start with Jay-Z, one of the most recognizable names in music. His connection to Aaliyah has been the subject of speculation for years. Before she began dating Damon Dash, Jay-Z was reportedly vying for her attention. Dash himself has confirmed this, saying that Jay-Z had been going hard to pursue Aaliyah. While their supposed romance never materialized publicly, some whispers suggest that Jay-Z viewed her as more than just a romantic interest. He saw her as a potential collaborator whose star power could further elevate his career. But when Aaliyah chose Dash instead, could it have created a rift that went deeper than anyone realized?
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling.
It's worth noting that at the time of Aaliyah's rise, Jay-Z's career was also reaching new heights. He was laying the foundation for what would become one of the most successful empires in music history. Yet some believe that Aaliyah's trajectory posed a threat. Not only was she dominating the R&B charts, but she was also making waves in Hollywood, with roles in films like Romeo and Queen of the Damned. Her ability to cross over into multiple industries was rare, and some theorists argue that her continued success could have eclipsed Jay-Z's own ambitions. Was there room for both of them at the top, or was Aaliyah's presence seen as an obstacle?
I'm acting now. I'm really doing everything that I want to do, and it's an amazing feeling, so.
Adding fuel to this theory is the fact that Jay-Z's career seemed to soar to unprecedented levels in the years following Aaliyah's passing. By 2003, he had released the Black Album, announced his first retirement, and solidified his status as a music icon. Around the same time, his partnership with Beyonce was becoming the stuff of legend. Together, they represented the ultimate power couple, with Beyonce stepping into the solo spotlight just as Aaliyah's absence left a void in the industry. Some conspiracy theorists have pointed to this timing as suspicious, suggesting that Aaliyah's departure may have smoothed the path for Beyonce's rise. Of course, there's no concrete evidence to support this idea, but the whispers persist, fueled by the uncanny alignment of events.
No, I felt deep in my heart and in my soul that I had it and that I would do it and that I could do it.
Diddy's involvement in these theories is even murkier. Known for his larger-than-life persona and unparalleled influence in hip-hop, Diddy has long been a figure shrouded in controversy. His connections to the biggest names in music and his role in shaping their careers have made him both admired and feared. When it comes to Aaliyah, some suggest that Diddy's influence may have extended into areas that are far more troubling. Could his business dealings and behind-the-scenes maneuvering have played a role in the events surrounding her final days? What's particularly interesting is how Diddy's reputation has evolved over the years. In the early 2000s, he was at the height of his power, hosting lavish parties that were attended by the who's who of the entertainment world. These gatherings, often dubbed white parties, were synonymous with exclusivity and excess. Aaliyah herself was reportedly a guest at some of these events, which has led some to wonder about the nature of her relationship with Diddy. Was she simply a guest, or did their connection run deeper? And if so, what might that reveal about the circumstances of her passing?
I was sleeping, and my boyfriend tapped me and said, "Mary, Shy's on the phone telling us that Aaliyah just got killed."
Diddy's name has also been linked to other high-profile controversies, which adds an extra layer of intrigue to the Aaliyah conspiracy theories. From unresolved tensions with former collaborators to allegations of misconduct, his history is filled with incidents that have raised eyebrows. While none of these directly implicate him in Aaliyah's story, they contribute to the perception that he operates in a world where power and influence can sometimes overshadow accountability. For those who believe in the conspiracy, Diddy's involvement is seen as a potential piece of a much larger puzzle.
I'm charging you with being a divisive human being who will do anything for $1.
Beyonce, meanwhile, has largely avoided direct scrutiny in these theories, but her meteoric rise post-2001 has not gone unnoticed. At the time of Aaliyah's passing, Beyonce was transitioning from Destiny's Child to a solo career, a move that would eventually make her one of the most celebrated artists of all time. Some have suggested that Aaliyah's absence created a vacuum in the music industry that Beyonce was uniquely positioned to fill. While there's no evidence to suggest that Beyonce played any role in the events surrounding Aaliyah, her sudden dominance in the years that followed has led to inevitable comparisons.
Is it possible at all to have a relationship on the road?
I would say it's possible. I just don't have one. I don't have one right now.
What's particularly striking is how Beyonce and Aaliyah were often seen as contemporaries, despite their different styles and trajectories. Both were young, beautiful, and immensely talented, with the potential to redefine what it meant to be a female artist in the early 2000s. But with Aaliyah gone, Beyonce was able to take center stage in a way that might not have been possible otherwise. This has led some to speculate whether her rise was simply a matter of timing, or if there were forces at play that ensured she would become the industry's new golden girl. Of course, these theories are just that, speculations rooted in coincidence and conjecture. But they have gained traction in part because of the larger questions they raise about power and influence in the music industry. How much control do these figures truly wield? And what lengths might they go to in order to protect their empires? For fans of Aaliyah, these questions are not just about uncovering the truth. They're about seeking justice for an artist whose life was cut tragically short.
A rising star in the world of music and film. Reaction today after Aaliyah and 8 others were when their plane went down.
As if the conspiracy theories weren't enough, all 3 figures, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy, have faced their own controversies in recent years, further complicating their public images. Jay-Z's involvement in a legal case regarding his Reasonable Doubt album has raised questions about his business practices, while Diddy's legal troubles have brought renewed attention to his past actions. Even Beyonce, despite her near-flawless reputation, has not been entirely immune to scrutiny, with some critics questioning the authenticity of her carefully curated brand.
Sweetest person you can know, very intelligent. She knew what she was about and she knew what she wanted to do with her life.
The convergence of these controversies has created a perfect storm, leading some to wonder whether the truth about Aaliyah's passing might finally come to light. Could the cracks in their public personas reveal hidden truths about the events of 2001? Or will the layers of secrecy and speculation continue to obscure what really happened?
Poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
What's clear is that Aaliyah's legacy continues to loom large, not just as a beloved artist, but as a symbol of what could have been. Her influence is still felt in music, fashion, and culture, and her story remains a cautionary tale about the pressures and pitfalls of fame. For those who believe in the conspiracy theories, her passing is a reminder of the darker side of the entertainment industry, a world where power and ambition can sometimes lead to devastating consequences. As these theories continue to circulate, they serve as a stark contrast to the image of Aaliyah that so many fans hold dear. She was more than just a star. She was an icon, a trailblazer, and a beacon of hope for a generation. Whether the truth about her passing is ever fully revealed, her impact on the world is undeniable. And as new details emerge, one thing remains certain: Aaliyah will never be forgotten. Her story, however complicated, will continue to inspire and captivate, keeping her memory alive for years to come.
Okay, this is what I mean when I say people wake up every day and just volunteer lies. Diddy, how are we supposed to believe anything that comes out of your mouth? And furthermore, why should we not believe the rumors of things going in your mouth when you out here volunteering bold-faced lies? You would still be lying to us right now if it was no video. You didn't even apologize to Cassie in the video.
So do you believe there could be any truth to the conspiracy theories surrounding Aaliyah's tragic passing? Could the rise of other stars, like Beyonce, have been influenced by these events? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing celebrity stories. Until next time,